Hello, it is January 9th, 2026, and we are back with another Clues by Sam. This one is difficulty tricky. Let's see how long this takes us. Only one of the three innocents in row 2 is Joy's neighbour. So Joy is here. One of these two is an innocent, but only one. And then there's 3 innocents total, so these two are also innocent. Exactly one innocent in column B is neighbouring Rohan. Rohan's here, so there's one innocent between Kumar and Will. There's an odd number of criminals neighbouring Betsy. So we have one innocent and one criminal here. If Chad was a criminal, that would be 2 criminals, which means Chad must be innocent. An odd number of innocents in column B are Ollie's neighbours. So Ollie's here, we have one innocent. Rohan must be a criminal, because otherwise there would be 2 innocents, and that's an even number. Chad has exactly 4 innocent neighbours. So we have 1, 2, 3, and 4. Vince is one of Ollie's 2 innocent neighbours. So Vince is innocent, and Ollie has 1 more innocent neighbour between Kumar and Will, which means Joy must be a criminal. It's good advice in general. Long press gives more colours, corner tags. That's what I've been doing. I've not been explaining. You can also add a tag on this corner. I don't think you can add tags on any of the other corners that I'm aware of. So you get two corners and yeah, I think technically 6 colours. 7 if you want to include the base. Xena has exactly 2 innocent neighbours. We don't know anything about them, but we might get something on here. An odd number of innocents on the edges neighbours Xena. Well, given that we know that Xena has 2 innocent neighbours total, we know that Sue must be one of the innocents, because there is an odd number of innocents on the edges. Less than 2 has to be 1. There is 1 innocent in these 3. 1 left, only Sue available, so Sue must be the remaining innocent. And then there's 1 innocent remaining in these 3 of Will, Zara, and Tina. Nancy is one of Maria's 4 criminal neighbours. So Nancy is a criminal. Maria has 4 innocent neighbours. Sadly, it's not a choice between Gary and Kumar. It could be both or it could be neither. If it's both, then Tina is innocent. It can't be neither, so it has to be one of them, actually. It has to be at least one of them. Which is interesting. If it has to be at least one of them, I don't think we can quite make a... Okay. Nancy, only 1 column has exactly 2 innocents. Okay, so it's not C, because we already have 4. It could be B, if Gary is a criminal. Could it be A? A already has 2. Could have a 3rd. Okay. Only 1 column has exactly 2 innocents. I don't think we've got enough to work with yet. Okay, so I think we have run out of new clues. So, let's think about this. So there's 1 innocent remaining in Tina, Zara, and Will. Means it could be 2 criminals in here, which would make Ellie innocent. Wouldn't make Ellie innocent, which means if Ellie were innocent, that would be the column with 2 innocents, and so the other 2 would have to be... I mean, that's an interesting thing to... I don't know if we can necessarily work with that. There's too many things I can't quite rule out. So, odd number of innocents in column B. Ollie's neighbours, yep, so one of those. Vince is one of innocent neighbours. We have 1 left, yep. Exactly 1 innocent in column B is neighbouring Rohan. It's one of those 2. There's an odd number of criminals neighbouring Betsy. 1. One of the 3 innocents in row 2 is Joy. Yep, we still know. What number of innocents one neighbouring Xena? One column with 2 innocents. Chad has 4 innocent neighbours. Chad has, yep, that's still. Xena has exactly 2 innocent neighbours. Okay. So yeah, there's no new clues. So what we're going to have to do is we're going to have to work out what we can learn just from these 3 clues alone. Only one column having exactly 2 innocents is interesting. Trying to work out if we can do anything with it. It's hard to say because we have too many that we just don't know anything about at all. I think the fact that Maria has 4 criminal neighbours, which means that at least one of these 2 has to be... Yeah, at least one of these 2 has to be a criminal. I feel like that's probably going to be where we've got to go from there. Is there anything that we can do that would force... If there's anything that would force these 2 both be innocent, that would obviously be something that we could rule out. So technically we can rule out Will and Freya both being criminals. So, yeah. So given that they can't, Will and Freya can't both be criminals, we can say that they are definitely different colours, which means that these 2, which means that, yeah, Gary and Kuma has to be one innocent, one criminal, I think. Because if they were both... no. Because we do have a world where Freya and Will are both innocent, and these 2 are both criminals. And then we'd have... Let's just check this. So, if we have a world where these 2 are both criminals, then this will be innocent, this will be innocent, this will be innocent. Is there anything that we can definitely rule out? Okay, so this column has 2 innocents, which means it would have to be the 1, which means there would need to be at least 1 more innocent between Ellie and Zara. But I don't think we can... I don't think there's anything that rules that out. Xena has exactly 2 innocent... Okay, no, actually we can rule this out. Xena having exactly 2 innocent neighbours. There can't be 2 innocents over here between these 2. So we've already crossed the line. So we can say for sure that it is not the case that these 2 can both be criminals, which means they have to be different. So we've got purple, blue, and then Tina has to be different from Will. And we have... But Tina also has to be a criminal, I think. Let's just double check this. Maria has 4 criminal neighbours. 1, 2, 3. Tina has to be a criminal if these 2 are different. And Tina has to be... No, okay, so Tina has to be a criminal. We know this for sure. Let's see if that gives us anything for definite. There's an equal number of criminals in rows 2 and 5. Okay, well, there's 1 criminal in row 2, which means there's 1 criminal in row 5. And we know that Xena has 2 innocent neighbours, which means one of Will and Zara is innocent, which means one of them is a criminal, which means Xena has to be innocent. Row 1 has more innocents than any other row. We already have a row with 3 innocents, so that must be 4. There's an odd number of criminals neighbouring Rohan. We have 1, 2, there must be a 3rd. I haven't... Let's just have a quick look. Light mode. God, that's... Okay, sorry for flashbanging you. Yeah, no, I think stick with dark mode. Apologies. So, with that, we know that these 2 must be different because one of them must be innocent, the other one must be a criminal. So we've got... So if Kumar was innocent, Zara would also be innocent, Freya would also be innocent, which is fine. If Kumar was a criminal, Freya would be a criminal. There's 2 innocents in this row. Zara would be... Okay, so that's actually... we're done. Because if Freya, Kumar, and Zara are all criminals, then there's 2 innocents in this column and 2 innocents in this column. And we know that's not allowed because only one column has 2 innocents. Which means Freya must be innocent, Zara must be innocent, Kumar must be innocent, and the remainder must be criminals. And that's it. That's the game. So a lot of clues, as you might be able to see from the table. So Kumar telling you about the fact that you can repeatedly tap to highlight the useful clues. Second long corner tag, I already told you about that one. Dimming useless clues, I've been doing that the whole time, but I haven't been telling you how to do that, to be fair. Hopefully you've learned something from today's puzzle, if not me directly. And with that, thank you very much for watching. Hope you got something from it, and I will be back tomorrow.